So which countries did skipping rope originate from? How did it start? Why is there such a thing as a double dutch? Who were the people responsible of spreading the sport of jump rope globally? Where is jump rope right now and where is it heading? We're going to be answering all those questions in today's video. Just come with me. The first ever concrete evidence of jumping rope came from medieval paintings, where you had kids jumping rope in the streets of Europe. Jump rope originated from the Netherlands, and back then it wasn't really the jump rope we know today. It used to be what we know as double dutch today. So before, when you meant jump rope, it actually used to be double dutch, so two people turning the ropes and one person in the middle jumping on top of it. The sport of jump rope then made its way to America through the first Dutch settlements in the 1600s. So now all of a sudden you had this big Dutch community in America, and most of them carried with them the culture they had back in the Netherlands. So that resulted in many kids just jumping rope in the streets in their front yard as social activities and as fun. And then you had the rest of the American population seeing all those Dutch people jumping on top of ropes, usually singing songs and dancing with it. And as bizarre as this would look to them, this is where the derogative term double dutch came from. Yet having this big population of Dutch people jumping rope in the streets of America, having fun, being social, actually attracted more people, more outsiders to actually join the sport and join the social activity basically. And in 1940 and 1950, jump rope was all the rage in the inner cities of America. But by the late 1950s, something emerged that would completely stall the growth of jump rope across the globe. And that was actually the rise of television and radio, which resulted in kids spending more time indoors versus more time outdoors. And around the same time, America saw a huge increase in young people using drugs in America. And it was in 1973 that a police officer called Ulysses William decided to put double dutch as his youth outreach program and came up with a project called Rope Not Dope. This program was focused to keep young people, especially women, away from destructive people by adopting healthier habits and a healthier social circle from double dutch. And this is where double dutch tournaments started happening. In 1980s, only 3 years after the start of the outreach program, New York only had 15 double dutch teams, and the program worked wonder. The drug use in the inner cities of America started decreasing, and it was actually McDonald's who saw the positive impact those tournaments had on the community and finally decided to start financially supporting the competitions and the double dutch community as a whole. And the sport was continuing to growing until McDonald's decides to sever its ties with the tournaments and all types of financial support, and that probably was because it realized that it wasn't getting the return it was hoping to. And this caused less and less tournaments being able to get funded, and this finally caused to double dutch going back to the streets. And so did the children's. And at the exact same time across the entire globe, the sport of double dutch evolved to what we call today jump rope. So you had a lot of athletes, a lot of boxers, a lot of physiotherapists that were actually recommending jump rope for its added benefits. But despite all of those people doing jump rope, no one really thought of making a sport out of it. However, one person did. Back in Colorado, US, you had a football team, and in this football team, you had Richard Candley, who was seriously lacking agility and was pressured by his coach to actually train on his agility. His coach gave him two options. The first one is run up and down across flights of stairs in a stadium for 1 entire hour, or jump rope for 15 minutes. Being a big football player and knowing that jumping rope was for young girls, he actually decided to go up and down the flights of stairs for an entire hour until winter kicked in and he had no choice but to actually get in the gym and start using his jump rope. And very quickly he became very fluent at jumping rope. He even started integrating some side swing, some crosses, some double unders into his routine. His skills actually improved, and with this he actually understood of all the benefits jump rope had. He saw his performance improve, he saw his general spatial awareness, his general physique improve. And as a sports teacher, in high school, Richard actually decided to start teaching those kids how to jump rope. And in the early 70s, Richard decided to start spreading the sport of skipping rope across the globe. He was responsible for forming the first national rope skipping organization, as well as helping form the European Skipping Rope Organization and the Continental Organization. Richard would also take hundreds of ropes with him wherever he would travel, where he was given the chance to actually sell his ropes to his students after every training. And since then, the International Rope Skipping Federation, IRSF, was created, and since then has been spreading all across the globe and has been making monumental progresses in countries like Europe and especially Africa. And this was all thanks to one individual, Richard, who has really brought the sport from his local high school community to an international body. And the best part is, guys, since the rise of the internet and social media video consumption, a couple of individuals like Jump Rope Judes and Rush Athletics have really been pushing the sport across the entire internet community. And I strongly believe that the internet was the second best thing that happened to jump rope after Richard.